This book is written by Sam McBratney, illustrated by Anita Jeram, and it is called Guess How Much I Love You. Now, it talks about at the back of this book. The blurb says this: when you love someone to the moon and back, sometimes when you love someone very, very much, you want to find a way of describing how great your feelings are. But as little nut brown hare and big nut brown hare discover, love is not an easy thing to measure. So that's the back of the book. So let's get started. We have a nice picture on the front page. And then it says again the title. Can you read that? Oh, it's upside down, isn't it? Back to front. Guess how much I love you. Well, I'll read and then you can look at the pictures. Here's the first one. Now, little nut brown hare, who was going to bed, held on tight to big nut brown hare's very long ears. Holding on tight, I wonder why. He wanted to be sure that big nut brown hare was listening. Guess how much I love you, he said. Oh, I don't think I could guess that, said big nut brown hare. This much! And he put his hands all the way out as far as he could stretch. Can you see that in the photo here? Does it work? This much. Yes, you can see that on the screen. This much, said little nut brown hare, stretching out his arms as wide as they could go. So you can see little nut brown hare and big nut brown hare over there. And look what big nut brown hare is doing. He's also got his arms out, stretched as wide as he possibly can. Big nut brown hare had even longer arms. But I love you this much, he said. That is a lot, thought little nut brown hare. And look what little nut brown does next. He puts his hands up and he reaches to the ceiling, reaching to the sky, going as far as he possibly can. Take a look at this picture. Can you see that? Yes. This is what little nut brown hare says to big nut brown hare. I love you as high as I can reach, said little nut brown hare. And what is big nut brown hare doing? He's sitting on the floor watching. Wow, what do you think big nut brown hare does? Can you see in the picture what he's doing now? Big nut brown hare says, I love you as high as I can reach, said big nut brown hare. And do you know what he's also doing? He's standing on his tippy toes. So his arms are reaching all the way out to the sky and he's on his little toes. So he's going as perched himself as tall as he can possibly be. Now, look at that. That is quite high, thought little nut brown hare. I wish I had arms like that. Then, oh, can you imagine what happens next? Look at that. Then little nut brown hare had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and reached up the tree trunk with his feet. Can you see that? Can you see what he's doing there? I love you all the way up to my toes, he said. Now that is creative, innovative thinking. Looks like he's doing a bit of yoga, doesn't it? And what happens on the next page? And I love you all the way up to your toes, said big nut brown hare, swinging him up over his head. Woo! Oh, here we go. There's lots of action happening here. I love you as high as I can hop, laughed little nut brown hare. So there's some hopping going on. Bouncing up and down. Can you bounce up and down? But comes the next page. But I love you as high as I can hop, smiled Big Nut Brown Hare. Hop! Wow, that was a big hop. And he hopped so high that his ears actually touched the branches above. Can you see that? Big Nut Brown Hare. His ears are touching the branch of the tree. Wow, that's good hopping, thought Little Brown Bear. Little Brown Hare. I'm thinking about the bear story I was reading this morning. That's good hopping, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I wish I could hop like that. Wow, I love you. I love you all the way down the lane, as far as the river, cried Little Nut Brown Hare. Can you see the river? I love you across the river and over the hills, said Big Nut Brown Hare. Well, it really is a competition, isn't it? That, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. What do you think Little Nut Brown Hare was thinking? Well, that is very far, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. He was almost too sleepy to think any more. Oh, what's he doing? He's got his hands over his eyes. He's so tired, so sleepy. Oh, he's ready for bed, isn't he? Then he looked beyond the thorn bushes, out into the big, dark night. Nothing could be further than the sky. Can you see the moon? Oh, he's so sleepy now, and the moon is out. It must be time for bed. So what happens on the next page? Can you see that? Big Nut Brown Hare is carrying Little Nut Brown Hare. I love you right up to the moon, he said, and closed his eyes. Oh, that's far, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That is very, very far. But Big Nut Brown Hare settled Little Nut Brown Hare into his bed of leaves. He leaned over and kissed him good night. There they are, ready for bed. And then he lay down close by and whispered with a smile, I love you, right up to the moon and back. That's the end of the book. Good night.